Yeah, muscle stripping could also be, with the heel and the hand, but I don't like this because how it's prescribed. So this is one of those where maybe it worked for a different body, but I don't like the pressure in the lateral side of my wrist if I did stripping this way. So this way, I feel like I have things lined up better. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You might be different, but then again, you always have permission to explore. So myofascial trigger point is like there are different trigger points in the body. You're going to see me do a trigger point spot right here for, this is a muscle called the infraspinatus. So it's right in the middle of the scapula. So I'm using actually the point of that knuckle right there to hit the trigger point right there. She should be feeling that right there, right? So you eventually learn some different places where there's a trigger point, there's a referral point, either for that specific muscle. Sometimes it's not right on the muscle, it's somewhere nearby, but then it's a very direct pressure, like on the pec, on the front. I'll do that where I'll get right there, right where the attachment on the sternum plate is. So there's the sternum, here's my rib, kind of right in there. I'll get right in there, maybe with my elbow or my thumb. That's definitely a trigger point. Okay, it refers all the way through the pec. So we talked about percussive strokes. Petrissage is, so we talked about effleurage. Effleurage, again, are the long, glidey strokes, typically what you start with, or you'll see those in how we practice, where petrissage might be something like this, these are like little J strokes, I call them here, little. So not necessarily cross fiber friction where I'm getting really super deep, but just I'm starting to work a muscle a little bit more. So there might be, could be my fingertips. Notice how I have my hands stacked on top of each other. And my posture is fantastic. Good. Okay, what else we got here? Pulling or tractioning. So there's a couple pieces of pull or traction. So sometimes, like for the shoulder, I'll do this. I'll do a little pull right here. So I've got hold of this just below the elbow. Got a nice secure hold here, and I'm going to decompress that shoulder. I'm also all of the connective tissue that links to that. It's a nice pull. I'll do that with the leg too. I'll lengthen the leg out. I could do this when she's on her back. I could, I'll lean back. You'll see me. We're going to be doing this in our sequence. We pull the arm back a little bit. Rocking. So this is rocking. I use this a lot. This will be part of the opening sequence. It's also, again, so a lot of these are called different stuff, or they were marketed over the years. It's called Traeger massage, one of my favorites actually, and you'll like it too. So there's a slow, really slow, that was kind of a medium, there's a slow rock. Could be a fast rock, and you kind of realize, oh, this is a little more energizing. The slow rock, a little more sedating. Skin rolling, you're not going to probably use this much, but sometimes if they've had a scar, they've had some connective tissue issues right in the surface, so this is what skin rolling, and the skin can't be too oily. So if you get closer, you're going to see I get a little pinch of skin and I roll right through it. It's kind of a cool technique, and some people like it and some people don't. Because some people, right below the surface, the connective tissue right below the surface is really sticky, right? They're, I see that with people carrying extra weight. They're just kind of toxic below the skin, and so the skin is really adhesed, the dermal layers to the connective tissue underneath. So I want to get that moving. I want there to be fluid, so it kind of allows some detox.
Would that be in people who are unhealthy and not overweight too,
for sure.
or just people?
For sure. Yes,
just
absolutely.
Generally okay.
Absolutely, really good point. Skin rolling, and then stroking is just, it's more like this. It's more just like a, yep, I'm on there.
Mm-hmm.
So this can be a really nice, everybody, nobody doesn't like this.
Everybody likes
I think
being
she's
stirred.
purring right now. Good. And then finally, vibrations. I do these sometimes on the belly. So again, we just got her for film purposes. She's on her back. But vibrations are kind of like, it's kind of hard to do this. You got to work at this one. You got to be positioned right. But it kind of goes in. It gets in there. It's kind of it's a form of petrissage. So.
And you do that mostly on the abdomen?
Well, I use that tech. You know, it's like I don't really I don't do it a lot intuitively. It doesn't come to me to do it on the scapula. But you know, let's say I had someone that they're injured, they're whatever, and I can't really get in. I can't do any deeper work, right? Or they have frozen shoulder, which I really hate that name. But you know, that might be something I try. Is I just try to do a little vibration. I don't typically do that for a shoulder blade, for example, but I might.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's not you're not restricted to just
Absolutely
doing,
not.
okay.
Absolutely not. Okay. So you can hit the done button.